Alright guys, welcome to another episode of On Target Talks. This is episode 42. It's a meaning of life episode.
Exactly.
Can you believe we've been doing this, or 10 weeks short of doing this for a year? It also means January is in 10 weeks, which is kind of scary.
Wow.
I should probably start Christmas shopping.
Almost a year.
Me too.
Speaking of what, actually, before we get into the topic, speaking of Christmas shopping, do you want to talk about the drive we're going to be doing leading up to Christmas?
Yes, so we are going to be doing a toy drive, and overall just supply drive for those in need and who maybe can't have as nice for Christmas, as some other people. We're looking to do it. It's a little different style this year.
It's a specific group of people.
Yes, I believe it's kids who need backpacks and shoes and stuff like that. I forget what is the specific group.
It's kids at the hospital that have gone through like abuse and stuff like that, and they need backpacks and shoes.
Oh, somebody who did that for, I think it's bags or something, but my senior year somebody did that as a project, and they collected a bunch of materials and stuff. You put them in backpacks. And that's really cool.
Yeah, so but we're going to be doing a bit of like a raffle system for it with a pretty good prize at the end. Never mind the prize of feeling good about donating.
Yeah, being a good person. 'Tis the season, homies.
But do you want to talk a little bit about the prize?
Yeah. So we haven't decided what the prizes will be, but it's going to be a raffle style, fun or donate. I can't. Literally, what are we talking about? I can't think of the word.
A fundraiser?
Fundraiser. Thank you.
Yeah.
Drive. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Toy supplies drive. So how it's going to work is the more items you bring in, and different items will have different value. We'll have
like shoes and backpacks will be worth more than a little toy, obviously.
Exactly, and you'll get tickets or something of the sort. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go around to local. Local businesses. Thank you. Like we complete each other's sentences.
More so, I just complete yours.
Yeah. but yeah, so local businesses and get some really nice prizes, stuff like that. And then we're gonna have a grand prize. We're hoping to make it like a pretty huge prize, several $100s. So stay tuned for what the prize will be. But the more items you bring in, the higher chance you get to win this selected prize that you want, or many prizes.
Yeah, and we'll be trying to start it this weekend, hopefully. If not, very, very soon. We'll be throwing more details about it on the website and Facebook real soon. We just kind of threw this together pretty quickly, so more details to follow for sure.
Stay tuned, boys and girls.
But it'll definitely be pretty awesome. And unfortunately, we missed our opportunity to do the food drive this year. I mean, last year we raised literally tons of food.
Tons, yes.
So instead, we're going to try and do like I said, do this drive to replace it.
Yeah.
It should be fun, and I'm counting on you guys out there to do a good job with it.
Yeah, even if you're not doing it for the prize.
Right, just do it.
Just do it to be a good person.
Helping people out, yeah.
Exactly.
Just be a person, man.
And speaking of Christmas, we do also have our Christmas event coming up. So this is December 17th.
Yes, sir.
December 17th. Revenge of the Grinch, Star Wars theme.
I want you, if you guys want to see a magic trick real quick,
so
hit that refresh button. Look at that. Pretty great stuff.
Registration is now officially open.
Registration is
So, let's see if we find any spelling errors from James.
What do you mean? Like, how? There's like 4 things.
Oh no!
I had a feeling, that's the best part, is I had a feeling he messed up.
Oh no!
That was great. He just prepping the water. You're like, alright, let's see what he messed up.
Where's that page?
Oh, dude.
These I already closed that page.
Took an L.
So we need to fill out everything again.
It's just so funny, because like I said, I literally was just like, he's gonna mess up.
What did he mess up this time?
Oh wait, no, never mind. I didn't exit the page yet, so I can fix this real right quick.
By the way, we're working on a pretty awesome event for you guys. It's going to be Christmassy themed more so, hopefully. But definitely going to have that Star Wars element, so...
So don't sue us, Disney.
So what? Don't sue us.
Don't sue us, Disney.
I mean, I'm excited for The Last Jedi.
That should be good. It's going to be a lot better than Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh yeah!
Have you seen that?
But Battlefront 2, people have been
yeah,
just like...
the loot boxes, the loot crates.
Well, they actually rolled back on that like
no,
yesterday.
they didn't. They rolled back on it by saying, "Oh, we're decreasing the amount, of time and expense that it takes to unlock your heroes." But it's still
pretty bad.
It's still bad because you still have to pay.
Initially, it was either if you pay it was either you pay the money. You pay the money for heroes, or you have to get to level 40. I think.
Which is it's 40 hours to unlock every hero. And
40 hours.
Go back there. That's a full work week of playing a game just to unlock one.
James, how much have you spent on War Thunder over the last?
War Thunder, probably not. Ask me that question related to Battlefield 1. The last 2 weeks is probably, I don't know, maybe like 20 hours a week or something crazy like that. Hey, I'll fix it. Okay, ready for this? Ready? Ready? Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, but do you want to talk about the event some? Dan?
Oh, yes. I would love to talk about the event. So, excuse me.
That's a lie.
So hopefully we're going to be having some cool stuff. We're going to be having some, we'll be hopefully making some cool facades. Someone has an inflatable, like, Imperial bunker or something. We're going to try to get a bunch of stuff out. We're going to try to get... we're going to try to work on getting a bunch of people here in costumes. It's still... Some of the finer points of the missions are going to be... are to be determined yet. But...
Can you give us any previews of any missions to come?
No.
No. Oh, it's very, very
it's very secretive.
Under wraps.
I mean, some of it's going to follow probably closely with the existing Star Wars story, as you may already know. There was initially like an Order 66 mission kind of thrown in there, which I thought would be pretty cool.
So we put all the younger kids on one team, and we
killing young men.
them.
They just have lightsabers. Well, me and my girlfriend watched episode 3 the other night. Like, we watched through 4, 5, 6, and then we watched 1, 2, and we waited like 2 to 3 weeks before we were actually able to get together and watch episode 3. And she was like on edge the whole time. She was like,
the only Star Wars I've seen is episode 3. I wasn't a fan.
See,
you only saw episode 3?
You watched one of the newer ones first. You have to watch episode 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Then 1, 2, 3, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, Episode 7, and now Episode 9.
Well, what I would do after you watch 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
Like, literally,
you're
complaining about 40 hours worth of gaming.
Yeah.
That's like 40 hours worth.
But this is watching 40 hours of history. This is
like you what, in a galaxy far away, long.
It's a documentary. It's good. It's a lot better.
I have to show you the Rooster Teeth short about Gavin not realizing it's not an OP line. Oh my god, it's hilarious. He's like, wait, where's Earth in Star Wars?
So hopefully we'll be coming up. It's back to that classic old Grinch is trying to ruin Christmas and Santa's trying to save it. So pick a side. Do you guys want to be a grouchy jerk for Christmas, or do you want to bring cheer to all the little homies out there? You decide.
Right. So, and the other upcoming things. When's our next adult night?
The next adult night will be on the third Saturday.
It would be the 16th.
December. Actually, that is the next adult night. I'm sorry, is this week, so it's going to be this Saturday.
Oh well, yeah. Oh,
you'd think he was the manager or something.
You would think.
I was thinking ahead way too far.
Right, if you thought that.
So this week,
not very obvious.
Pistol Shotgun Night. Boom. Friday night is Pistol Shotgun Night, and then Saturday night, Hit It Hard, 6 to midnight.
And then next Friday is Black Friday, right?
Yes.
Next Friday is Black Friday. You guys got to come out for that. We have Nerf gaming from 9 to 12. And
that was 11.
No.
What was Airsoft was 11 to...
Stay tuned!
One moment here. I'm concerned.
Yeah, you've done a concern.
Me and Danielle went over it.
Okay, I'll keep talking.
So anyways, we have Nerf gaming from 9 to 12. Hold on for confirmation. But
There's gonna be mad deals, I think is what he's trying to get at.
On the flyer that was so wait, no, but you have to look at the flyer though. The flyer. That's so.
My man Jake.
But then you gotta check the
Shotgun night this
check
Friday.
the flyer. The flyer. Oh, I thought we had a.
But okay, yeah, 9 to 12 for Nerf, 12 to
12 to 9
12 to
for
9 for
Airsoft gaming. But we're gonna have deals going on all day, so if you show up early, you can snag some pretty sweet deals. Like we have massive discounts on pistols and rifles, and this is. I mean, I don't know if we've said this one yet, but if you buy a rifle, well, actually, I'm not even gonna tell you.
Can we say what might be going with the micro gun?
So if you buy a micro gun, all right. You will get. This is a sweet deal.
Yeah, this is insane.
So like, these things
kind of makes me want to buy one.
So you buy a micro gun. So the retail is about $7.25 on that or so. You will get a free rice bag of BBs. Now the rice bag, it's 55 pounds.
For 55 kilograms.
It's 55 pounds, 25 kilograms.
I was going to say, 55 kilograms, you wouldn't be lifting that.
Of 0.20 gram BBs, which are obviously the most ideal. So that's I forgot.
It's about 200,000 0.2 gram. I think it's 200.
That's like an entire day's worth of gaming with that many guns.
Right? It's 250,000
yeah.
0.2 gram BBs. And that rice bag retails at about $240 here.
Let's do this real quick.
So you're getting a $240 bag of BBs if you purchase a micro.
So how many pellets did you say it is? 215,000?
So if it's...
Is it?
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so
divide,
25 kilograms.
So
by
regular bottle of ammo is 5,000, right?
Correct.
And a regular bottle of ammo costs about $15. So that's how much you'd be. That's how much you'd be paying if you bought that in bottles of ammo.
Wow, $645.
Are you sure your math is right?
Okay, wait, look. You said 215,000.
Well, I don't know if it's it actually 25 kilograms.
25 kilograms. So you multiply that.
Okay, yeah. I don't trust James, so let's do this.
25 kilograms is 25,000 grams. Yes. You multiply that by 1,000. And then since they're 0.2 gram BBs, you divide it by 0.2. Actually, I'm sorry, I was wrong. 125. Yes, I have that.
Round of applause.
I have that actually up on my computer.
Aren't you glad James will be probably building stuff you rely on in the future?
Yes, I am going to be building systems to help defend America, hopefully.
All right.
You'll say, hope you can fall asleep at night.
I messed up. Okay, divided by 156, get back to the number, times 15. There we go, $375.
So, separately, it would cost $375. Those bags actually retail at about, those bags retail at like $275. So like, you're pretty much saving $300 worth of BBs. Like, even if you don't use that for just your micro gun, which you'll need it. You'll definitely need it.
Oh, wait.
But if you buy it...
Let's see, maybe I figured out where James's math went wrong. Maybe James in his Sistema...
what are you going to do? Why do you have to bring up this Sistema?
Maybe he likes to use this weight of pellets. There we go!
Yeah.
I figured out where he went wrong.
Only 0.12 in the Sistema. Halfway 0.12.
Dude. Confirmed.
That works too well.
So that's something that we haven't released yet, but you guys watching this get the special insights.
Honestly, I thought that, you know how we released the deals up until the day of and the best ones? I honestly thought that was going to be the day of release.
Well,
deal.
this is
so
for those who watch the stream.
Yeah, if you watch the podcast, you guys now know, almost 2 weeks in advance.
And we'll start dropping
and
some
way in advance how bad James is at math.
Yes. So
absolutely,
really hope potential engineering employers do not find.
So we'll be dropping some more.
Specifically this episode.
We'll be dropping deals out through the next week.
Yep.
So just about one every day, if not multiples. We have sales on pistols and rifle stuff and this, that. So it's pretty cool.
James D.
Wow. So then Pistol Shotgun Night Friday night this week. Saturday night is adult night. So make sure you guys are ready. The cool thing about next month, is that all
Next
three,
year.
it's a weekend of fun. So Pistol Shotgun Night, Adult Night, and the event all fall on the same weekend.
Oh, nice. Speaking of which, and the weekend before that, we decided on a date we're going to offer something very new here. Hopefully it goes well. I'm looking forward to it. So after the experiences me and James had at Op Copper Green last Saturday,
We decided to copy it.
basically, but offer make it a little more accessible to average players.
Yeah.
Though eventually I'd love to do, like you said, like
Would you say filthy casuals?
no, I wouldn't actually. I would love to at some point make it like make like night vision game. Like if people have night vision, do like a full dark. But to start with, we got to keep it reasonable. But we're going to call it Spec Ops Night or SOCOM Night. Which do you think sounds better?
Dead Brew Night.
Which do you think?
Spec Op Night, Special Operations. That
All right.
encompasses many.
So
things.
Spec Ops Night, it'll be December 8th. So that's Friday gaming. So it'll be during the regular Friday gaming hours, but this is going to work very differently. So if you have 5 other friends, come to a group of 6 and you guys will play together. Otherwise, we're going to make groups of 6 people, and it won't necessarily be the same 6 people throughout the night, unless you want it to be. And there's going to be Op4 in the field, represented by both Extreme staff and our house team, Rycon. And there's going to be
Ryconi, right? 'Cause there's a few guys from New York now.
Oh yeah, I guess tech.
Yeah,
we're working on a name.
Nyricon.
Nyricon. We'll be the next Bacardi brothers. They're the Extreme brothers. The Nyricon.
No, but there's going to be a series of like 7 to 10 minute missions where you, as 6 guys, are going to have to accomplish missions in a very Spec Ops way. There won't necessarily be tons of shooting, but there'll be more about maneuvering, communication. The respawns will be done by medic bands only, while the Op4 will have like a short respawn somewhere on the field. And you'll have to accomplish missions like, avoid patrols to get something done in the field. And we're bringing the lights down in the field significantly, so these are a little more plausible to get done.
Cool.
But the main thing is you'll be doing these as little groups of 6 players on one half of the field. So it'll be 12 players on the field and 6 Op4 on the field at a time. It should be a really, really good time. I honestly wish I could play it rather than run it. But definitely, honestly, definitely show up for that. We'll be throwing it on our website and on Facebook hopefully the next day or two with a few more details. I still have to make the missions, but I'll definitely be taking some inspiration from Cobalt's Op Copper Green, but some more extra stuff thrown in there. Fortunately here we have the ability to put dynamic lighting and all that.
That should really
kind
make
of
it
stuff.
interesting. We can completely control.
Right, we
each
can control
mission.
the entire environment around the mission.
Yeah.
And you can make a mission having to like turn on the power plant discreetly, but obviously once you turn it on, everyone knows where you are and do some stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously, I should note, there will still be plenty of shooting. This isn't purely just like a sneak around day,
Yeah.
but sneaking is definitely
This is a game.
part of it.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be Spec Ops.
I really hope some like speed softers show up. That would be hilarious. just to watch them try to just like brute force every mission by just like eliminating everyone.
When they don't have respawns and the Op4 does.
Everybody out there,
it's
you have to like make a whole team of just like the speed softers, because all the other players would be so mad that they just keep losing. They're like, why does this guy keep giving us away? I mean, not assuming it's all speed softers, but there might be
To
somebody.
be fair, I've seen a lot of speed softers very quietly and quickly sneak through the field to get around.
Oh, yeah.
Around a team's firing line. So
People can do that. They're good.
Sneaky.
They can.
I get away with that too. People get surprised. They're like, Chuckles, I didn't even know where you were. I was like, well, I'm not that hard to miss. Like, I don't know how you can't see me in the field, but I work here, so.
But I think that's
I'm
all
stoked.
our announcements. Now we're
Yeah.
like 20 minutes into the stream.
That's all good.
think
That
that's
was
everything, right?
solid, just
That's
whacking
everything?
off of announcements. Though.
Let's get on to today's topic. So, as the title of the stream might give away, is we are talking about kind of like myths in airsoft today. There's definitely a lot of them going around.
Yes, there's many myths.
And this is both myths as well as like overall suggestions, but mostly focusing on the like controversial one side or the other. Probably the most relevant one would be wide bore versus tight bore.
That's already been debunked.
It's already been debunked, but people still argue it. But
let's
talk about it briefly, and then we'll move on to some of the ones that haven't been debunked. Now, eventually, we want to expand on this and make a weekly episode thing where we'll call it EA Labs and kind of go into actually testing each of these.
Eventually, we'll start making meth and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
making what?
very extreme.
Then we'll open a car wash to...
Yeah!
Oh my god, we already have a car wash.
The meth lab.
We already have a front, man. We have an airsoft business. Wow, your business is doing incredibly well. Business is booming.
Plus, when you have a cop, a detective on staff too, it really helps with the cover up. All right, moving on.
So, as I was saying, do you want to talk a little bit about what the myth is?
The myth of wide boys and tight boys, yes, because
wide boys and tight boys.
Wide boys and tight boys, yes. Long boys and short
James has a lot of
boys.
experience with this.
Steel boys and brass boys.
Actually, that would be a good one to touch on, though, is a steel barrel versus brass barrel.
Yes.
Because that is one that's argued very
And
significantly.
I have my theories on that, but so when I was
We'll
getting
do that one next.
Yes, so when I was getting into Polar Stars, I did a tremendous amount of research on, what to put on my gun, because at that time it was still very hotly debated. It was never really drawn to a conclusion on what is better, the wide bore barrel or the tight bore barrel. To explain the two, a tight bore barrel is generally going to be 6.03 to 6.00. It's a tighter bore barrel.
Because the stock is usually 608. On high-end guns, it's 605.
So that's also good for comparison. Yeah, so like a stock VFC or, like one of the nicer ones is going to be 6.04 to 6.05. And those are usually brass barrels, but I won't get into that just yet. So anyways, and then with the wide bore barrels, the famous Orga Magnus barrel, or was it the Magnum barrel? Magnus or Magnum?
I think it was Magnus.
Whichever one it is, there's another Magnus, something like that. There's so many
Magnum generally means large.
Yeah. And so those are famous for being 6.23 barrels. And so
yes.
the theory behind the wide bore barrels is that as your BB's traveling on the barrel, you push up. It requires a lot more air, obviously, a lot more volume of air to accelerate a BB down the barrel. The idea is it creates an air cushion around the BB, so as it travels through the barrel, you have this cushion of air and it just whoosh, nicely goes out. The tight bore barrel, the idea is that
as you would expect.
Yes. And so I like to call it the angry BB effect, is that as your BB is accelerating down the barrel, the wider that bore diameter is, it gives it the chance to reverberate and bounce back and thus get more aggressive. And so the tight bore barrel tries to eliminate that by, of course, being a tight bore barrel. In practice, we'll go around it, I guess.
I was saying, in practice, once you take a fluid dynamics class, you realize that the wide bore just doesn't make sense.
Exactly, it does not work. And it's funny because I did fluid dynamics for freaking 4 or 5 hours today.
Right.
And I'm actually going around on fluids going through a pipe with like laminar flow, fully developed flow. So it actually does make a lot of sense. You do get a lot of turbulence inside these. So imagine pushing an object that takes up, say, 80% of that. It's just not going to be a perfect, even cushion throughout. And so I found that the angry BB effect is even more so in the wide bore barrels. Is that it just
and the biggest thing is just to nerd out a second here, is that you're going to have at the wall of the barrel, there's technically zero velocity.
Yes, yeah.
And at the BB, there's basically maximum velocity. So if you have a big distance between there's obviously less of a shear pressure difference between the pellet and the wall, so it can move more.
Yeah.
The tighter you make that shear value is going to go up, and therefore the pressure goes up. And you get, though it's a cushion of air around the BB, it's much dense and therefore harder for the pellet to move it out of the way compared to just going straight.
So actually, tight bore barrels then do a better job of the theory behind a wide
Exactly. So
it is get wrecked.
It is also worth mentioning.
Get nerded on, bro.
It is also worth mentioning pellets are not 6 millimeters.
5.95 plus minus.
An Elite Force is 5.92 plus or minus 0.05.
Yeah.
A Super Grandmaster is the widest pellet market's actually an SGM. It's 5.97 plus or minus 0.005. But most pellets are 5.93 plus or minus a tiny bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, people are like, if you use a 6.0 barrel, the smallest dust fragment will jam your gun. And I should mention is rarely do you get a pellet jam in a barrel unless it's like
unless you cork it, like unless it's like bent or
right, unless it's like incredibly dirty or there's something wrong with it because there's a lot of force.
I've never actually jammed a barrel.
No, exactly.
Only in the hop up.
I have seen my accuracy reduce as dust builds up on the barrel, but I've never jammed a barrel.
Yeah.
But yeah, a 6mm barrel won't jam your gun anyways. But I think they don't sell 6mm barrels only because people wouldn't buy them because they don't realize pellets are not 6mm.
Yeah.
No, it's one of those things.
That reminds me of when he came back from Dorigo, and I spent like a half hour cleaning out my inner barrel because there was just so much crap and dust.
I do that before any like seasonal violence game, AJ spring offensive games, and I always pull out more dust than I would expect.
Yeah.
There is something worth mentioning though, and this is where the wide bore has validity, and why I think it got popular. Wide bores make up for a lower quality barrel. Because if you have a lower quality barrel that's super tight bore, all that turbulence is hitting the pellet because it's rougher on the inside. If you have a low quality wide bore, that turbulence can kind of disperse by the time it gets to the pellet.
Okay.
So wide bore, and that was kind of the benefit of a wide bore, is you have a very affordable barrel that didn't end up run into the turbulence.
The thing is, those whiteboard barrels were still like $90. Like they were.
Well, so they started at like $30, and then they got popular.
Yeah.
And like PDI makes a wide bore barrel, and I was like, that's just dumb because PDI makes the best barrels unquestionably on the market.
Cold hammer forward, bro.
Yeah, we'll talk about that soon, and like the three different types of barrels and kind of the benefits, pros and cons of each.
I remember wide bores were huge when Airsoft GI, like specifically, they were like, oh yeah, we did a DMR, but we were plinking people like 300 feet away, just like easy. I was like, this is weird.
Whenever someone says they're hitting people consistently at 300 feet, having seen what it takes to get there, I don't believe it. And an AG is not going to.
No, they had a sweet Polar Star.
Well, okay, a really perfectly built AG could. But let's be realistic here.
What if it was a Polar?
There's just not enough volume in the cylinder.
No, there isn't.
Polar Stars can because they can release more air.
It was a Polar Star, and they were like, oh, it was the best.
Yeah.
But they definitely were like, oh, wide bores.
So, I know you watched the video. If you want to talk about the debunking of this one specifically.
Of the wide bore versus tight bore?
Yeah, I believe it was it Wolverine that put something up? Or was it?
So I think it's, I never watched the actual video, but I read the,
synopsis.
The synopsis from, I think it was Advanced Airsoft out in Hawaii. Like if you're part of the Facebook group, the Polar Star Runners group, I think it's like, he's very Hawaiian name, I honestly forget. It's like,
I'm really glad though, because like the whole talk about wide bores died after that.
Yeah.
Finally.
It was Advanced Airsoft or maybe Airsoft Junkies, a couple of those guys that were really into it. And I think also Bingo.
I think Bingo, he's the one who put up with the one I watched.
Yeah, I didn't watch his. I think it was Advanced Airsoft, but it was funny because they all at one point just tested them all, and it was generally reached that it's just that tight bore barrels do a better job, like we noted out earlier with the fact that it does a better job of creating a cushion on the BB, but also just because tight bore is overall you get air efficiency savings. It's like
not only accuracy, it's performance saving.
Yeah, like that. A wide bore just doesn't work in an AEG for many reasons, especially air volume, as we just discussed a few minutes ago. And then tighter groupings, and that was just about it. I mean, I would have to reread it to give you the full scientific explanation behind it all, but I think we've just about covered everything.
Yeah. But in short, the video showed that there was groupings. The size of the grouping increased with a wide bore barrel. And I've seen players come through with wide bore barrels, and it's not like their guns don't work well. They work plenty well, but again, a wide bore barrel makes up for the lack of other higher quality components well, but if you're trying to go for a really high quality build, I think James just broke his computer.
I think so. The screen just turned off, but we're good though.
Okay.
I moved it back and forth and it turned off.
Ridiculous.
It's only like 4 years old.
Usually it's good too.
That's right. It's that hard drive I put into it.
I get that.
The hybrid hard
Oh,
drive.
you put the hybrid one in, right?
Yeah.
You should have just gone straight solid state.
Yeah.
I
tried to save $100, and right now I'm like, this was
now you're paying
horrid. Now I'm gonna end up buying a solid state.
I guess my mom's watching the stream.
Hi,
She
Mom.
just texted me. I need a haircut.
I need a haircut. That's easy to tell you, yeah, nerd.
Yeah, she's probably right though. I do. That's funny.
Hi, Mom.
I love sometimes my dad will tune in, he'll either text me or he'll comment something ridiculous. I'm like, thanks, Dad.
That's funny. But so we were talking about barrels. Let's continue with that. There's I would say three types of barrels. There's four. The worst of them is aluminum. And there was a while in which a lot of companies were shipping with aluminum barrels, and the idea was that they were lighter. But there's huge disadvantages to aluminum barrels. I'll go into it in a minute. There's really no advantages.
I don't like them.
Right. So then the most common is brass. And again, we'll go into why brass is. And brass is a really good middle ground. Then there's regular stainless steel. You'll see a lot of Angel Customs and Madbull on this. And then there's cold forged stainless steel, which is much more expensive. And really, PDI is the only one that does a true cold forged stainless steel barrel.
Gotta get that straight from Japan.
Yeah, and we've got talking a little bit of the science about each of these. So the issue with aluminum, again, is the weight thing. So if you know me, you know I'm all about reducing vibrations as much as humanly possible. And that's how you get accuracy. Because again, that whole angry BB effect, if your barrel's vibrating, it induces that effect.
Yeah.
And the lighter the barrel, the more it's going to vibrate. And it takes less energy to move it back and forth because it weighs less. So,
yeah.
And the other issue with aluminum too is aluminum, it's a harder metal than brass. So it is less likely to scratch. And it does machine very, very nicely. So you don't have the issue with non-cold forged stainless steel barrels. So you can actually get a nicer finish than brass and aluminum. But again, it's that whole weight and generally durability of aluminum barrels is not impressive.
It's terrible. I mean,
right.
I trash on G&G for not many things, but the one thing I trash on them the most is the barrels that come in their guns.
The worst part is
horrible.
They actually have a really good hop-up unit and a really good bucking.
Yes, the G&G green bucking is like one of the
if I
put that in just about everything.
If we're out of Sistemas, I go to G&G green buckings.
They're honestly fantastic buckings, but the barrels are just
right. They could just do so much better with just a good brass barrel.
I know.
And clearly, everyone else in Taiwan uses this brass barrel. I don't know why they don't. Just
we're
that
looking at you, G&G.
They need brass barrels and they need Loctite.
Yes, they do. Oh man.
That's the one thing. It used to kill me. G&G makes such a good gun, but once in a while, sometimes they just like fall apart in your hands if you don't Loctite the screws. But
it's like a Daytona.
Yeah, right. But it's one of those things. Is I would say that if I were to sell a G&G to someone, it's like, hey, just hit like these couple little things with Loctite, and this gun will never fail you. And that's true.
It is true, yeah.
So that's like the issue with aluminum barrels. Really, I put that at the bottom of the list. That's like a good OEM. It's an okay OEM barrel, but really brass is better. So the advantages of brass is a really, really easy metal to machine. So you can get really, really fine tolerances. But the issue with it is something that's easy to machine is also easy to scratch. So it's very easy to mess up your brass barrel by just shooting even like a bad BB can scratch a barrel. And once you scratch a barrel, it's really hard to get the accuracy back again. And the other issue with brass is actually, who was it from Z-Shot that told us this? About how they slowly, it's not a complete solid.
Oh yeah. So when they ship barrels.
Yeah, but who was it?
I think it was Wallace from
Z-Shot. Wallace,
when it wasn't discussing brass barrels, it was discussing the PTW barrels. Actually,
no, discussing brass barrels.
Yeah.
When they ship and store them, they always have to be shipped vertically, because brass is like glass in that over time it'll actually very slowly deform. And you mentioned if they used to store them horizontally, you check the stock and they'd be out of round after a few months if they were stored horizontally. And mind you, I doubt most of you keep your airsoft guns stored perfectly vertically all the time.
I don't.
So over time, you're going to get a slight degradation of accuracy and probably need to replace the barrel. So in terms of high-end brass barrels, there's EDGI. I used to have the barrels, and man, don't get me wrong, they're some of the highest quality barrels you can possibly get. I would say on par, if not better, out of the box than PDI.
Damn.
But
Do they still make them anymore?
they do. They're harder to find. Polar Star used to
You
import.
gotta know a guy.
Well, Polar Star used to be the importer. Ben himself
Yeah.
imported NGI barrels, and then he stopped. So now they're harder to get. But either way, is their quality out of the box was on par with PDI. The issue is the long-term durability wasn't there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any more comments? I'm the only one talking right now. Any comments to add?
Nothing really. Let me check YouTube.
Well, anything you want to add?
Oh, do I want to add? I mean, I have a few things regarding. I have a few things, regarding like the quality of the inner barrels. But I mean, I'll let you finish your point.
So I guess okay, fine. The other one I mentioned was the regular stainless steel barrels from Mad Bull, Prometheus, Angel Customs is one of my favorites, but they do have their issues. And generally, all these hot forged stainless steel barrels, or hot machined, I should say. The issue is when you machine stainless steel, it gets very hot. And as you do that, so the issue with steel, especially stainless steel, is that when you machine it hot and then you let it cool off, it's a metal. It slightly constricts and changes, and they do machine it to account for those size changes. But if you ever look down an Angel Custom barrel and you see all the rings, that is, as it constricts, you get a ever so slight wave in the internal diameter of the barrel. And that just comes from machining, as James knows, from machining stainless steel makes it very, very hot. Compared to brass, it's easy to machine, it doesn't get as hot, it's easy to keep it cool, things like that. But it's much cheaper to let it get hot when you machine it, because if you get it, metal gets softer when it gets hot, so you can machine it without going through bits and stuff like that. It's bad. But like I said, you get these slight waves inside your barrel when you're done. That's why some people don't like Angel Customs barrels. Is they're very, very durable because they're stainless steel. They don't rust. They don't scratch. And they're much harder than any pellet. So you can usually clean them out and you'll be as good as new. But you will never see the same accuracy as you would with a really high-end brass barrel or a really high-end cold-forged stainless steel barrel. But like I said, is you can still get. I usually suggest stainless steel barrels for the user that doesn't want to worry about has cleaning as often, doesn't want to worry about corrosion, just wants a pretty high quality product. It's still going to be way better than stock.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's a really high quality product at a very affordable price point that's very durable.
First thing I usually do with all my guns is it's the barrel. So it's either an Angel Customs or a Mad Bull.
It's the best thing done.
On that note, all those hybrid barrels are trash. Throw them right in the trash can. James has experienced this.
What's hybrid barrels?
They have stainless steel end caps and aluminum bodies, or sometimes they're like carbon fiber bodies and all this shit.
So there's also another one too. So yeah, they do have like different materials on different ends.
Which is just stupid.
My favorite one though is, like white boards, they have, the idea is that it creates a cushion of air for you to ride on. Yeah, so there's a rail that kind of sits like a big
I've seen that.
The BB like rotates on.
And I've never seen that work.
It like carries the BB.
I've never seen that work.
Like in like a groove. It's just like, what is this?
Perfect example with the hybrid barrels is Vinny found one back one time. And he was trying to put it in this saw that he had.
This is a great story.
He thought it was the gear. I'm like, Vinny, it's the hybrid barrel. I told him for the very first day, because the pellets were all over the place. I go, it's that hybrid barrel. Those things are trash. I've never had good luck with them. They literally ruin everybody's experience. And when I did Pat's gun, he had a hybrid barrel in there. And you saw how his gun was performing.
Poor you.
And he wouldn't believe me. And he opened up that gearbox and threw money at that gearbox for like 2 months. He finally replaced the barrel, gun worked perfectly. And I was like...
The thing is, that's like the cheapest thing to try to fix too, is the barrel.
But it's fitting.
Yeah.
I love you, Vinny. I'm sure you remember this story.
He's probably sitting there like, he's very right.
But no, really, just don't buy a hybrid barrel. I will say that.
I've never even heard of that.
It kind of is a fad that died, thank God.
I'm glad.
Then the top of the line thing you can get, and really its only con is the price, are the cold forged PDI barrels. Don't get the Raven ones because those ones aren't cold forged. Get the regular full cost. Now a barrel can cost you. These barrels can cost over $100 for an inner barrel.
Yeah.
But literally, think about it. With a real gun, the most important part of the gun is the barrel.
Yeah.
It should apply for your airsoft gun. That's like buying a sports car, putting a huge engine in it and being like, these single piston calibers are fine.
Yeah.
No, like, you have to balance your build, and it's really worth putting a really high-end barrel in your gun. And so the way the cold forged barrels work is they machine these at low temperatures so that you don't get that changing of shape effect nearly as much.
Yeah, you don't get like the thermal expansion.
Exactly.
All
And
that
so
stuff.
it makes it not have that wave effect on the inside.
But the machining process for that is very
It's very expensive,
Yeah.
and they go through bits more often, everything like that. But I've never had a PDI barrel. I've never had a bad experience with a PDI barrel. Everyone I know, Pat talks about how his gun was shooting 330, and he had no problem trying to outrange people shooting well above that in FPS, just because those barrels with the good pop-up will go forever. Like, but the cost is painful, I get it, but let me tell you it's worth it, and hopefully we can bring some in soon.
Actually, I've got a question on that just came up on YouTube. Is do any airsoft companies sell handmade barrels? And I really don't think it's possible to make a handmade barrel, is it?
What do you mean by handmade? Well, like, do the company, because the machine, well, I mean, you could say G&G makes their barrels, but do you mean like handmade with a lathe, or?
I don't know, if you would like to,
I mean, all these barrels are
think-
CNC cut, but.
yeah, like you have to have a machine to make these. But I think what he means is like, do any companies make their own barrel, like their own branded barrel?
I think I guess G&G's OEM barrels. Most of these companies make their OEM barrels, but they don't make upgrade barrels.
Yeah, I think the only ones that sell them are, I think Crytek sells their own barrels, and
But at that point, it's the same thing with Crytek. You go, you're selling a $400 gun and you want me to pay extra for the nicer barrel?
yeah, and he said made by a person, so it's just, and you just can't do that with hand.
Like you going in your garage and making it yourself.
But you
You'd
wouldn't
like
get
$1,000.
But you wouldn't get the precision of a CNC.
Exactly, and it just wouldn't, like a samurai sword would make more sense handmade instead of machine made, but
I mean, there is those people that made those barrel blanks, or made those barrels out of real blanks.
real blanks. Oh yeah, and there's also the I think this is what I was thinking of, the Magnus barrels, where the one piece outer and inner barrels.
Yes.
The whole assembly.
That's what I was saying, out of the blanks.
Oh, okay, that's what you meant. I thought you meant that. I don't know if they're made actually out of real blanks. I just thought they were big.
No, they
solid thing of CNC.
No, I think they said they take 5.56 blanks, 5.56 barrel blanks.
Well, that's neat.
And just mill them out to 6 millimeters.
Oh, yeah, it's not like that's much of a difference, right?
Well, I mean, that way you have all the right metals and all that.
Yeah.
And shape, and you're mostly there. You don't have to be like, here's my block of metal that I'm starting with.
Yeah, right.
Because you can get barrel blanks for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I think like $50 for a barrel.
You saw my snap the other day, right? My 009 millimeter. I thought that
I
was.
replied to it.
I know, that's right. Dan, you saw that, right?
I saw that. I don't remember where
I
I
thought
was
that was
sitting.
pretty clever.
No, my favorite comment from James was, would 5.56 fit in a 6 millimeter barrel?
Technically, yes. Actually, okay, real funny thing is, so related to that note, I was browsing the Polish Star Owners group a while ago, and there is this guy that took a 5.56 like bullet cap, like not like the whole, obviously the whole cartridge, but just like the bullet itself. He put it in his barrel, and he was shooting actual bullets out of his airsoft inner barrel, and everyone was commenting like, "Do you want airsoft guns to be illegal? This is how you make airsoft guns illegal." Like literally
coming out like
shooting
at
bullet.
speed?
No, they were coming out like
What?
you could trace it with your finger. Like,
Okay,
oh, there it
okay.
is. But he was still shooting bullets out of an airsoft gun,
That's
so some
Imagine-
news company would just grab that and run.
I'm just
you
thinking
know?
like imagine if you had like a 400 PSI solenoid
Let's ruin airsoft.
and you,
Yeah, dude.
and you used it in like your, what do you call it? The bolt?
Oh my god, like a true closed bolt system.
No,
Do
like
your
the
kids
bolt
like
as in,
airsoft?
like the bolt
Yeah,
action thing.
yeah.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
Do your kids like airsoft? Not anymore. It's
I
illegal.
remember airsoft.
That's what Australians say.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a million things to pick here, so I'll let you pick the next myth we're going to talk about.
The next minute. Actually, well, just to wrap up the whole thing about the bores, I'm a firm believer that like the material of barrel that you're using
Makes a bigger difference.
well, like let's say like on the argument of 6.05, like without type bores, you have standard like a very well polished and upkept barrel is going to perform just about the same with the same diameter, like with the same bore. At least that's what I found with the Daytona guns. A lot of the group members, they
I
found
mean,
a
I would
polished
argue that Daytona gun is
6.04.
not a fair test platform.
I guess, but they did test a ton of different quality type barrels because you're always trying to get the best range out of it, and it was found that the best was just a very well polished brass barrel, and I found out that a very good polished brass barrel will
so
do
a
well
604 to a 605, I'd agree with you there. When you get to the tighter bores, it's
that's kind of what I was avoiding for that argument.
Yeah,
but
when you get to the tighter bores is where it matters.
Yeah,
where the material really makes the difference in that. Because like those little waves in an Angel Custom don't make a damn difference when you're at 605. But you get to 60 or 601, and now it matters.
Yeah, especially what is it, the squiggly E thing, the roughness coefficient?
Yeah.
Is that what it is, divided by the diameter?
I don't remember the Greek symbol for it, but yes.
Yeah, squiggly E over the D. Yep, yeah.
So
and you have to, what is it, the Morse chart? That's what it's called? And I spent like 4 hours on that today.
It's been a while.
Reynolds number.
Well, Reynolds number is what really matters.
Yeah.
But
Alright, I'll drop it.
Well,
I'm starting to feel smart.
I'll let you pick the next myth here.
Okay, the next myth. That systems are reliable.
Well, I was going to say that systems make it good, but
Systems are...
Keyword, they don't.
Not reliable, as I found out so
Focus
far.
closed.
Really, you
I
only
have
have one issue.
Yeah, it's the same reoccurring issue though, which is quite annoying.
What, the brushes?
Yeah, I replaced them and I still had
Bull.
issues. The other
So
day.
we were leaving my house for this op, and I go, "Hey James, should I pack the M14?" And he's like, "No, my gun breaks. I'm just walking off the field at this point." And we're in the middle of an engagement. And he goes, "Des, I think my battery died." And I go, "James, you damn butt." And I'm like the only one left alive at this point. And then I see him fiddling around. I hear his gun shoot, and he goes, "I found a twig."
That's like 2 events in a row!
I know. I was so mad. Like, I was just hoping the gun wouldn't shoot. I was like, please don't shoot, and it fucking worked. And I was so mad.
James, that's 2 events in a row that a twig had to save you.
Mad.
I need to make you a patch.
I need a pouch.
All you need
No,
is a
not a pouch.
twig
No, not a pouch. A patch that says "Fix my Sistema," and it's just a picture of a twig.
Yeah. Or we'll just make sure I think for Christmas we're just gonna wrap a box of twigs and be like, "How to fix the stemma." Here you go. That is so depressing. I don't even know what to say to that. That's 2 events in a row that you had to.
I sent like a semi-aggressive email to Z-Shot.
What'd they say? I'm curious.
And they said they'll work on it for warranty, but I was very explicit. I'm like, I'm not paying for any work on this.
Right, like
I'll pay for shipping. Okay. Even that's like a stretch for me at this point, but I'm not gonna pay for you guys to make this thing.
I don't even know.
And the thing is, I asked them, like, if you guys have anything to fix it, like, I'll do the work myself, provided it doesn't void the warranty. Just let me know. And they're like, no, just send it in.
Damn, son.
I'm curious to see how that goes. But yeah, so systems are not
That's
reliable.
depressing.
But it's the same issue. And a couple of my teammates, to be fair, have had systems for freaking 6 years. And they plugged in a battery. They plugged and played for 6 years with it, with no issues, which I think is insane. Another myth: night vision makes you good. If you asked that question maybe 2 years ago, I would have absolutely agreed.
Yeah, you guys.
Like even if you're a trash player, night vision, gave you a filthy, as Kurt Tapp put it, a filthy advantage. But the thing is,
shoot blind, kids, as Isaiah calls it.
Night vision it's more mainstream now. A lot more people have night vision. So now the issue is you need to train with night vision. You need to go through actual training with night vision in order to actually get good at it.
Yeah.
So I'll also support the idea that night vision does give you a dirty advantage.
It does, because you just shoot.
It's a tool at that. It's gone from a filthy advantage to just a tool that gives you skill with.
Well, kind of like
it's like an airsoft gun. It's like it's an extension of your abilities. Like if you don't know what the hell you're doing in the night, and you don't know what you're looking for, like that is suddenly a disadvantage to have all that weight on your head and nothing to do with it.
Well, that's like what was it? That's like when I first bought the Polar Star. I was the only one in like New England with one for a game or two, and it made it unfair.
Yeah, exactly.
But
and then now that everyone else has it, it's down to a skill thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's exactly what it was with night vision.
My favorite experience with the Polar Stars. No one knew what these sounded like initially, and I was playing Recon.
Your gun broken?
No, I was playing Recon with my friend Everett, and he was in front of me about 20, 30 feet to my right and about 40 feet in front of me. And he was hit. He's down at this point. And I'm just literally sitting on the top of this hill, and I'm hitting guys on the other side of the hill. And probably a couple hundred feet out, and already I'm thinking, wow, this is just more accurate than my bolty that I spent all this money on. And the funny thing, I'm hitting these guys, but they're not hearing it because everyone was, at that point was tuned to hear AEGs.
Yeah.
So they're standing up and shooting Everett, and he's like, I'm already hit. And so then I like pop two more, and they stand up and they shoot Everett again. He's like, guys, because no one could localize this sound because they're just not used to hearing it. And the whole time I was dying. I was laughing so hard at just taking out the squad and I'm shooting the wrong guy. But like you said, nowadays everyone has night vision. Not everyone, but a lot of people have night vision. And a lot of people have learned to fight against it. Like I'll never go buy night vision. It's just too much money. At least not for Airsoft specifically.
I really want to go shooting at night with it, like with ARs and
Right.
stuff like that. I just wish that I had like land to go do that.
Right, exactly.
I got friends, like the guys on my team, like they have houses that have like acres and acres of land, and they'll go out at night and they'll click down their night vision and go shoot targets at night.
Right.
And just like I want to do this so bad.
Oh yeah, it'd be a blast. But like I said, a lot of people in the community have learned like that it doesn't make you, night vision doesn't make you God. You can play against it pretty easily if you're intelligent. But okay, here's a good one. R-hop versus flat hop versus SCS versus my hop.
I don't know. I don't get any of the. There's so many goddamn.
You're like, I don't know anymore.
It's like I'm not that super into it. I'm like there's just so many hop-ups. Everyone's like, oh, well, I have this hop. Oh, well, Sistemas come with an I-hop. And it's like, oh, everyone comes with this. And I'm like, oh my god, just stop. It's confusing to me. I'm just not sure. Like, I don't know. Like, I've had people that are like, yeah, I've done the R-hop, and like, it doesn't make a difference. Like, it's just the same as a really nice flat hop. Most people I've heard or seen, they just flat hop and that's it. Like,
so
I've never done any
my
fancy schmutz.
Because I did an enormous amount of research when I bought my Polar Star, like I do whenever I make a purchase.
America, why you do this?
And so the whole thing with hop-ups I found is, so R-hops are regarded as the best hop-up because the idea is, if you guys when you have your inner barrel, then you have your hop-up window. The idea behind an R-hop is you take like a piece of kind of rubbery material, like the inside of like a silicone hose, or like something of that texture, and you essentially cover that window. Is this what it looks like with an R-hop? Oh yes, yeah. So you cover that window so it perfectly fits the rest of the board of the barrel, minus a little bit in the radius department, just so you get a little bit of that hop. And the nice thing is that the contact length of the BB, on the X cling, from like start of the barrel to the end of the barrel is much longer. It's the entire hop-up window. So that's the advantage of it. But the thing is, you need to fine tune them. You need to shave them down.
It's not as adjustable as compared to a regular hop-up.
When you do an R-hop, like let's say with a Polar Star,
you have to stick to the same.
You have to stick to the same weight pellet and the same FPS. Mm-hmm. That's almost law.
Right, which is not ideal, especially with a Polar Star system where you have the advantage of being able to have your gun used in every environment.
Yeah, exactly. And so what I found, and the general consensus, at least when I was doing my research, and a couple other options have come up, but in the R-hop versus flat hop department, the flat hop gives the range of an R-hop, but it doesn't give the accuracy, because the accuracy comes with the lateral accurate.
So there was also SCSs. So
yes.
Shredder Concave Spacer, Polar Star also made a version for a short while. And the idea is it gave the concave, but not the flat aspect. And my argument for a while.
What's up, Harrison?
My argument for a while is that an SCS would give you the left-right accuracy. The flat hop would give you the vertical accuracy.
Yes.
But I always said people are generally taller than they are wide. Yeah. So I preferred the left and right accuracy over vertical accuracy. And R-hop definitely gives you both, but you lose the adjustability.
And honestly, when it comes to R-hop and the advantages, I've seen like 10 feet difference. A
Mm.
15-minute job versus like a day-long job if you're first trying it out. And it's just, like at that point, just get good.
Well,
Like, just
I mean,
don't be bad.
So, and then...
Or just don't try engaging people at obnoxious distances.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other, conversation.
Yeah.
That does also, like, you know, and that's why I jokingly said the my hop at the beginning is because what I ended up doing was developing a hop-up arm that is basically an R-hop attached to the hop-up arm itself. So I have most of the advantages of an R-hop while still having full adjustability.
Yeah.
And you've seen the outcome.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's nice.
And I will say, it is based on the idea of an R-hop, of you have a combination of a flat hop and an SCS. It's pretty cool stuff.
I have a Des arm in my Crytek. I need to do some more tuning.
Yeah, we still need to tune things up. But mine still does require some tuning, don't get me wrong. It's usually, it's tuning to the gun, not to the pellet necessarily.
Right.
Just the hop-up specifically. So I make them in like varying sizes of 0.5 millimeter, just to get it just right. Is there anything interesting in chat?
So I have on YouTube, Magma Plays 7ZS. He was just asking me about a few stock things, like stock wobbly, just sampling configuration. We do sell sites like ACOGs and EOTechs come through. I mean, basically any time come Christmas, we're gonna have a lot of cool sites here. And then IRA, he had a question. He said, "What about Tittman? They're extremely accurate." And I'm actually, I'm gonna let you finish, but I would have to disagree, at least out of the box, because Tittman's use the G&G barrels and buckings. They come with the green buckings and they come with their terrible aluminum barrels. Another thing,
and there's a lot of vibration.
Exactly. Another thing with Tittman's, they're basically handheld vibrators. Like they're very fun to use,
I love it.
but like the bolt travels a solid like 1.5 inches, and it's forward recoil, so the thing just kind of like vibrates. And I'm an elitist. So what some people would consider to be a ton of fun with it, I'm like, nah. So they're actually, you may have a lot of fun with it, but in the accuracy department, I haven't found that Tittman's. I mean, very well. To be fair,
Tittman's do have an HPA advantage of being able to release a lot of air down the barrel, but they don't have the zero vibration advantage of a Polar Star, a solenoid-driven HPA system.
Yeah, and to be fair to Tittman, there are a few hop-up mods. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I have read of them on the group. Like you can like drill through the top of the receiver and do some like grub screw
my favorite thing I've seen is a lot of the Tittman owners group, people being like, Tittman's are the best gun ever once you do $300 of modifications.
Yeah.
It's like, that doesn't make it the best gun ever.
Yeah.
The best gun ever means I pull it out of its box and it works really great.
A Mazda Speed 3 or something.
Yeah, right? Like, it's really great, after I dump a couple hundred.
I only had to just buy a tune for it.
You bought it pre-modded.
Yeah, I did buy it pre-modded.
But that's...
Well, stock, they're faster than GTIs.
You got that point, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They're faster than GTI stock, and they're like neck and neck.
That's pretty much the same thing. Like, you came here, you were like, I could buy a Tittman, or I could buy a Tittman that Extreme Airsoft is upgraded. And it's like, it's already there!
We're just trashing.
Alright, so what is the best gun with no mods?
Best gun with no mods.
Okay, best gun with no mods.
Handguns!
A stock
Systema.
Well, yes. Yes.
A PR-15.
But honestly, I was going to say a PR-15.
If you can afford it, a PR-15.
A PR-15.
But assuming you're looking for sub $500.
A BFC Avalon.
An Avalon.
A BFC Avalon.
Maybe slightly above $500, I'd have to say the...
really any BFC gun.
The SR-25 from Ares is
fresh.
Unbelievably good.
Right.
But it's a little expensive.
It is. But fresh.
Harrison said the ASG Evo, which is...
Well, actually, yeah.
Well, I found out the other day that BFC makes the Evo.
Yeah. Oh, that is a good point. Yeah.
Wait, what?
So
yeah,
also...
if you go to BFC's website, the Evo is under their products.
Yeah. Also, on that note,
I'd be able to confirm that, Harrison?
I'd be able to suggest the Evo to way more people if it took M4 mags.
But then it wouldn't be an Evo.
True.
I know,
or
but it wouldn't be a Scorpion.
Then it would be a Bren.
Okay, but I want that gearbox system.
So just buy a Bren.
I want that gearbox system and quality of construction and something that takes M4 mags.
Yes.
Wouldn't you sell more of them? To be completely honest.
I think it's the 75 round mags.
Yeah.
The 75 round mags that are $65 for 3. That's usually.
But they stop shooting when you're all out. They're always
I know they're really
With
cool.
that format.
Yeah.
Actually, they do that.
He said I can neither confirm nor deny. That's interesting. I wasn't expecting that response.
But on
wonder
that
why.
note, the Magpul PTS also stops shooting when you're out of rounds. And it's
Yeah.
format.
Oh,
Okay,
I
also,
missed the
Harrison had a
EMPs.
question for us as
Okay.
well. This isn't really a
That's
myth,
cool.
but it's so they have a thing going on in the office. I guess you guys are a few months late to this meme, but I'll still bring it up. How do you
man.
feel on
Shots
pineapple on pizza?
They are a little late to this.
Oh
Yeah, that's what I'm
gosh,
saying,
this
yeah.
already blew up. I thought Gordon Ramsay ended it.
I would say I'm indifferent.
No, I say no. Pineapple is a disgusting, squishy texture. It does not belong on pizza.
See, the problem is I like, I could eat pineapple. I dig pineapple. And I'm not going to say, I haven't had Hawaiian pizza. Dude, you gotta, it's an experience. So, I mean, if y'all want to do that, that's cool. And if that's the only pizza I have, if I have to eat Hawaiian pizza, I'm not going to be like, man, I'm not going to eat it. I'd rather starve. But I'd mess with some.
Oh no,
Hawaiian
I
pizza.
think I chose the wrong answer. Harrison said you are a disgusting texture that doesn't belong on pizza.
Dude, bruh. Well, I wouldn't put James on pizza. Serve him fresh.
Sevilla Padres, yes.
All right.
I'm the fresh James. Here,
Let me
David.
consult my list
Ooh,
of myths and we'll start.
Actually, no. We do have some.
Oh, do we have any
Yes,
news?
no, we have comments, and I have
Oh, cool.
one news item that's not really
Okay.
news. Okay, so here's one.
Is it related
Alex
to me?
Miele, he says, Airsoft men. Airsoft is dying. He says, my opinion is that most of the big channels are changing their content from what made them popular. This is because many players haven't been watching them for a long time, do not like the new content because it is not what made them fall in love with the sport.
So actually, I do want to hit that specifically, especially since we were broadcasting on YouTube. The reason a lot of these guys are changing their content is YouTube changed their advertising protocols.
Yeah, YouTube.
And if you have
But
if you have anything that is fake violence, which I think most people would consider
Airsoft.
shooting people
With fake
with
guns.
fake guns,
Fake
violence,
guns.
you
Yeah.
cannot make money off that content. You are not allowed to.
Yeah.
YouTube demonetizes that instantly, and therefore all these people who make money on these social media platforms, even Facebook hides videos that have guns in them. All these people who make money on this content have to change their content if they want to continue making money. And you might say, oh, they're selling out. But people have to put food on their plates. I
Yeah,
can't blame
If
them
you
for a
look
second.
up,
Like
if you look
Jet
up
and
the
Leah,
ad-
they literally-
the apocalypse, right?
Yeah, the adpocalypse.
Yeah, if you look up that on YouTube, you're gonna a couple of the famous airsoft. I think
What?
Jet and Leah made a video.
Yeah,
about it
Jet
as
and
well.
Leah are literally Airsoft. They're purely making money off of doing
That's their
Airsoft.
livelihood.
And
Right.
that's what they're doing. So
But actually, I also do want to hit on that whole Airsoft is dying thing, unless there was more to add to it.
And he just thought that Airsoft is dying at least in the media aspect of people watching videos.
Which is valid, and actually,
Yeah.
that is okay. Cool. That's exactly what I wanted to hit on. Then, is you might see that there's definitely less of an influx of new people into Airsoft, and I would agree with that. That is definitely happening, especially with the changes in media. But I have personally seen, having especially been reffing here lately, but also just from my viewpoint, that the quality of new players is much higher.
Yeah.
Is for a while, it was such a fad that you had a lot of people coming in just to try it, and they didn't care about following rules, they didn't care about others having a good time. They were just coming in here to have their fix and leave, and it ruined Airsoft for a lot of people who had been playing for years and were used to a very close-knit community that was friendly to each other, followed the rules, and just were going there to have a good time. Now, a lot of these people that have been coming in with that very fad mentality aren't coming in anymore, and the new players are here because they want to be part of that close-knit community.
They want to actually
Because they want
to do it.
Because they want to learn. Because they want to experience Airsoft for everything that it is. So some people have been like, oh, sales have slowed down. And don't get me wrong, we've seen a slowdown in sales.
Yeah, I was about to say, in the beginning of the year, I definitely saw a drop in in new players, overall sales, stuff like that. But and I thought I was like, oh man, what am I doing as the manager? Am I going to drive this business into the ground? But it was in its own terrible way. It was reassuring to see other stores suffering. But it
only
just,
because it made it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
It was the industry.
Yeah,
Even our distributors talk about how the industry has slowed down a bit.
Yeah.
But again, I think you can agree.
I've seen a large uptick actually. The last 2 months.
Yeah, exactly. The uptick lately has been people coming back into the hobby that left because they were annoyed with all the little kids ruining it, and as well as generally, I'd say the average age has risen from that 12 to 13 to probably more like 15, 16 now.
Yeah.
Not that if you're younger you can't join, but come in with that more mentality of you're there to have a good time, not there to cause problems.
Yeah.
And I think that also kind of helps with the fact that the media changed, because a lot of these kids were putting up videos of them cheating because it got attention on YouTube. And now since YouTube,
the wrong kind of attention.
Right, and now that since YouTube has totally changed their dynamic, as of a few months ago, those kind of videos are no longer
aren't as appealing.
Well, not only that, is YouTube will not recommend them.
Yeah,
They won't show up.
like guy rages in Airsoft probably won't show up on your suggested videos.
Exactly, and so now those videos don't go viral anymore, and people stop putting them up, and now they don't really have as much a reason to be a jerk playing Airsoft.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's a point, with the media-wise is, like Level Cap talked about it. He used to do the Airsoft gaming a lot too, but he kind of was like, he waited a while.
With that
it was awesome.
He had a ton of sponsorships. He was really good at it too.
And I loved watching Level Cap play. He's definitely he was definitely good, and I liked his reviews. He was pretty legit. He was real. He was like, all right, this is this. But he talked about how it was. He was struggling because if he was doing something like making money off of it, there's pressure from everybody to put out these videos. That means you have to dedicate a lot of his time to playing Airsoft, to trying to get. He could spend a whole day playing and maybe not be able to get a video or something. It's a lot of pushing out the content, and then people always waiting for you to cheat, wanting to get you on video. All of these. So it was a bunch of factors that he dropped out of it. So I mean, you've seen some channels come and go, just they're not producing a lot of content. It's just a lot of time, especially since now with the whole adpocalypse thing, they can't really make a lot of money on it. So they have to turn to something else, as we talked about before. So. And
actually, Harrison made a really good comment on Facebook. He was saying how, for a while, and I'd say this is definitely less so, and he touches on this too. It's less so become an issue in the more recent years, but in the past, players were very against newcomers to Airsoft. I wouldn't say that, but they're just not inviting.
Yes.
It was very rough, and then it's kind of a joke. The New England community.
I was going to say, especially here in the New England community,
it used to be you'd hop on the forum and say something, and if you weren't all
people didn't know
you weren't all knowing, you were ripped to shreds. And fortunately, especially with people like Fry, who is definitely a good friend of ours and has been on the stream a few times now, he's been a big pusher of building that community, inviting new people into it, taking people under your wing when you're playing.
Yeah.
And it makes such a difference, especially, look at it as the perspective of a new player. You come in, everyone's a jerk to you because you don't know what's going on, and you don't feel bad about being a jerk back to them and maybe not following the rules or trying to ruin their day. Whereas your new player comes in and people are like, hey, how's it going? Let me give you a hand with that, stuff like that.
You said if you don't have a PhD in BB dynamics, you were shamed.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's so true. But no, and if you're a new player and you come in and people are really inviting and they want to help you out and teach you stuff like that, now if you go and overshoot them in the field, you're not going to feel good about it. You know what I mean? It's a big difference.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed that a lot. Here, when I first started playing Airsoft, some people were pretty hardcore and they were just superior, and I was just all right, well I'm just a dingus and I've never played Airsoft in my life,
yeah.
Ugh, but
Oh yeah.
But the quality of players has definitely increased as of late. The players are much more
the last 2 or 3
respectful
months
and receptive.
And this last weekend, Saturday and Sunday, everybody left with a smile across their face.
Yeah.
And the crowds were fantastic. They did, this last week, I was really impressed. We didn't have an issue the entire day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a nice change of dynamic.
But then it's also better because partially here we're trying to create. we're trying to create a more we're trying to help the general environment by players coming in and they're complaining and blah blah blah. Well, it's like, well, did you tell? We have to place the blame, not the blame, but we have to put the responsibility of players on the players. So like, they come into the store and complain. It's like, did you tell a ref? Did this? You know, are you giving them the benefit of the doubt? So it's like we're trying to. A lot of the staff is trying to change. Like all the refs are like, I didn't see anything. Blah 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 blah. So it's like trying to change. It's like a change of mentality and getting that instilled in kids, like, or in the younger players, like as soon as possible. Being like, I need to get a referee to deal with this, or I need to give them the benefit of the doubt because it's airsoft.
Right.
Like. We're trying to, like, in the summer camps, I especially, like, especially harp on that. Like, I'll do, like, a session each day of just, like discussion. And one of the days was don't be a dick in airsoft. Like, how to not be a dick. And, like, they're really receptive to that. So, it's a lot of that. So, muy important.
I mean, definitely. Anything good in the comments?
No, just my boy Jake. He said, you know, he's new and learning about airsoft every day, and every time he comes to play, and that's awesome. You know, I see a lot of that myself when I came to play. I learned so much that it just came to the point where I wouldn't really show up with friends; I just kind of show up to play. But you know,
show up to work on guns, ask for my help.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how I met Dez, my now best friend. Right. You know, and I met a ton of I'd say airsoft is I can credit it to about 90% of my friends in real life. Like. I don't have many friends outside of the airsoft community. I have a few friends from school and high school and other life things, but other than that, like airsoft's my thing, and so it's good to keep a healthy and positive community. But to go way back to the original question of is airsoft dead? Honestly, or dying? No. Like I don't see it. It's not on like an upward trend like it was 2 or 3 years ago, but it's nowhere near dying. I think airsoft is going very strong, and I see many years of good business and overall fun playing.
And the big thing is there's a couple companies, I'm not going to name them at the moment, but there's a couple companies that aren't doing good things for airsoft.
I mean, there's some companies like that, but you know, they don't get space in my shelf.
Well, exactly, and that's my point. And a big part of it is if other stores and other companies support the hobby and support the brick and mortar stores. And I know this is biased because we're coming from a brick and mortar store. The fact of the matter is if there's no brick and mortar stores, there's probably nowhere to play airsoft, and then all the airsoft guns don't do you any good. Right. So this is one of those hobbies where supporting a brick and mortar store. Even these big online websites like eVike gets
one of those
more
companies
sales.
Is not ASG, my man.
No, not at all.
No, actually, I've got something for you a little bit later on. You know, it's business related, so I guess you could. I got an order for you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
All right.
Don't bug me on it, please, because I just need to work into my budget. I'll probably message you probably tomorrow about that. Yeah, probably tomorrow or Thursday about that.
What was I gonna say? So. We have probably enough time for one more topic. It's already 5:15, believe it or not.
Jesus.
Wait, we have to do the news. And the news, it's not even, you don't even need to bring it up.
Okay.
But it's funny because there is reviews about the Jag scatterguns. And someone came out with a review. And it's funny, the opening thing is, yes, this is a scattergun spewing gas out of the stock. No, this is not a good review. If you go on to watch the review,
it's so disappointing.
They harp on it pretty
The gun was
bad.
So cool.
Yeah, and I was really looking to stock pretty deep of it, come Christmas
it's just a
time,
few parts they
I'm not. You won't.
Yeah.
You probably won't find scatterguns.
Because we won't sell product we're not confident in.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with.
I mean, that's why you see our shelves. You don't see Echo 1 on our shelves. You don't see.
Echo 1 actually does.
A few of their guns. A few of their guns.
Some, but not all.
But my point is you won't.
I mean, Harrison's so understanding. I love you.
Exactly. That's why you see ASG product on our walls.
Yes.
Because we're confident in it, and we're confident the companies will back them up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So people need to earn a spot on our walls, for sure. But like I said, nonetheless. We have time for one more topic.
That's the end of the news.
Yeah, basically. There wasn't much that happened this week, and also James didn't look.
I did look.
Because he was studying for an exam he didn't have.
Ooh.
Like it's a bad
thing. The fact that you're like, I covered everything. Oh wait, except the date that the exam's on.
Yeah.
But okay, what do I have left on my list? I have Polyfiber bodies are weak or like are crap and like that myth. I have heavier pellet.
This a while ago.
Yeah, I have heavier pellets necessarily mean more accuracy. Soft buckings versus hard buckings. Metal nozzle versus plastic nozzle.
We definitely need to do an episode more
red nozzle at low PSI versus blue nozzle at a higher PSI. Poppets. What do you want to hit? I'll let you pick.
Let's see. What's a good one? Let me see that. Let's one more time.
Or lipo ready guns versus whatever the heck lipo ready means.
So
what does it mean?
I guess so I guess we can talk quickly about the buckings because that's a quick that's a quick topic, and we've talked primarily about hop-ups.
True, yeah, you're talking about accuracy.
So you might as well
we'll have to do another one of these.
Yeah,
yeah. That's what I said. Episode.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, I'm saying that's why we should do
segueing to our thing.
That's why we should do EA Labs, where we
actually test these.
We actually test these theories because we
break
have
out the
resources
codes, boys.
to do it.
The coats and safety goggles. We're going in.
But
yeah,
back to you.
So the buckings. So there's two types of buckings essentially in Airsoft. I mean, you can get into the different types of bucking nubs that come on the buckings, but I'll avoid that.
There's
for
different
right now.
hardness levels, but basically you can go for hard bucking or soft bucking. Systema and the G&G greens are great examples of very soft buckings.
Yes.
And Prometheus
purples are also soft as well.
Yes, but Prometheus reds,
the maple leaf, the maple leaf really monster buckings. Yeah. And so the difference between the two is obviously, as it may imply, but it's if you were to just take a bucking and take two of them side by side and squish them in your fingers, you'll notice that one is a bit harder to squish. And essentially what that does, and basically what it is it helps create a sealer on the BB and also hold the BB in the bucking lips,
right?
Among other things.
And exactly, and a lot of people tend to go with the theme that higher FPS. If you use a soft bucking, it's just not going to work. And at lower FPS, if you use a hard bucking, it just isn't going to work. And that's not the case at all. That's
not the case. I have found that the harder and softer buckings, the harder the bucking is, the higher
more durable it is.
Well, the higher the FPS you'll get from it, and vice versa with the softer buckings, you'll get lower FPS. Now, what I found with the buckings is that, first of all, saws, you're going to want to do a hard bucking because you have a lot of,
right, so
it's going to get worn down quicker.
Right, and the biggest point of a hard bucking here is durability. And you have to measure the amount of stress you're putting into it. Now, if you have a really high FPS build and you're using a soft bucking, it probably will be a little bit more accurate with soft bucking. But the question is, are you going to get even a day's worth of play? Now, personally, even when I run DMR stuff, I use a soft bucking because it's more accurate enough compared to a hard bucking. Now, with a saw, you don't need prime accuracy; you need durability.
Yeah,
and that's where a hard bucking is better. So. Like I said, a lot of people I just hear them say, "Oh, it's a high FPS gun, you need a hard bucking," and I wouldn't say that is a.
So one of the comments on YouTube, your store is made out of brick and mortar. Because we were talking about brick and mortar stores.
I mean that's where that saying comes from.
I know.
What?
It's just funny. I think he literally means like the extreme airsoft.
Yes, and I realize that. That's literally where the phrase comes from, is because the stores were made out of bricks.
Homie, you gotta. Okay.
That was a James comment.
That was a James comment.
Hey guys, so I made a brick and mortar.
Anyways, and one thing I've found is this is like what I go by is, for open bolt systems like a saw or like AEGs, you're going to want to use a hard bucking.
Mm-hmm.
For closed bolt systems, you're going to want to use a soft bucking. And the reason for this, among other things, there's tons and tons of variables. But what I found is that with with durability definitely being a factor, but also the BB placement, where your BB sits before it's it's shot down the barrel is extremely crucial. And with an open system, there's space in between the tip of your nozzle and the BB. Before it gets launched down, and the hard bucking helps keep it in place.
That's not quite the case.
No?
So, you're close. So, what it is with an open bolt system.
Would I pass that exam with that answer?
You'd get like a 75.
Hey, that's passing 60 degrees. Oh.
So, with an open bolt system, the gun loads the pellet and then immediately fires it.
Yes.
With a closed bolt system, the gun fires the previous pellet, then loads another. So with a closed bolt system, the pellet is seated there for a decent amount of time, and it can fall into the right spot. before the next time you pull the trigger. With an open bolt system, the pellet is only there for a brief instant before it's fired. So with a hard bucking, the rubber is less likely to deform and allow the pellet to be in the wrong spot. It's more likely to fall right into the right spot before it's fired. The soft bucking, when that nozzle loads the pellet, it might deform the rubber for an instant, and it might not push the pellet to the right location before the gun's fired with an open bolt system.
Yeah.
So that is the real reason, and because of that, you put a lot more stress on that soft bucking because the pellet's seated wrong. And that's why a lot of times you see Polar Stars running closed bolt mode, Polar Stars running open bolt mode will just tear through buckings all the time. So you're using a metal nozzle, and especially fusion engines, I should say. They're using a metal nozzle and an open bolt system, and there's a lot of pressure, at 120 psi, there's a lot of pressure behind that pellet, and it just tears up nozzles. Like it'll tear the lips right off the nozzles frequently. Yeah. So and that's why that is a big part of tuning the HPA system. It's not just dropping it in and going. A lot of time has to be spent about setting up that hop-up system just right.
Yeah, and that's really where the magic happens in airsoft guns.
It is.
I mean,
people who dump money into the rear end of a gun and haven't touched the front end, I'm like, switch your order.
Boy.
You could take a stock G&G, throw $100 at the front end of that, and do work.
Yeah, the mod path, like whenever people get why can't I think of what we were just talking about? The CM16s. Mm-hmm. I always say, even if you don't want to upgrade the hop up, like if you put a Pro in and a state like one of those like RTQ barrels, those Raptor barrels, like $30-$40.
Exactly.
Put $80 worth of hop up mods into it, and that gun is a completely different.
Exactly.
Gun. Completely different.
Hop up. Actually, you can even keep the bucking because it's so good.
No, yeah, that's what I say. Yeah. Keep the bucking.
Hop up and barrel on the front end of that gun. You'll honestly probably shoot on par with Avalons in terms of accuracy.
Yeah,
not,
you won't get the trigger response.
You won't get the trigger response, but
accuracy,
maybe even a little more accurate than a stock Avalon.
Yeah,
it's
they got the upgraded barrels and metal hop up.
Exactly.
That call.
So okay, no, we should probably wrap up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, before we dive into anything else.
We'll either do an EA Labs episode sometime soon.
That's cool.
Or we will have another episode. Let us know if you want another episode of this in the comments because I think it was pretty fun. The stream flew by.
Yeah, we didn't need a bullseye pick or any news aside from Scattergun suck.
Yeah.
Mystery box.
What was I going to say? What does Harrison mean one of those companies isn't ASG?
We were talking about companies that don't get wall space. He's like, well, one of those companies is not ASG.
Ah, yes.
Wait, so what does it say mystery box?
But what was I going to say?
Another one.
Let's talk about real quick the drive.
Where are we going? Oh no, I got a pillow! Yes. All right.
Okay, no, for real though.
The drive.
I can't do this.
Jeez.
I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, misunderstanding jokes is my favorite sense of humor.
Okay.
My favorite type of joke. Anyways, so we're going to be doing a drive to help, abused kids who come from, hard homes. They don't, just stuff like that. Don't really need to go into kind of what the name implies. So I guess I should start. I kind of started from a bad spot. So
welcome to talking to James on a daily basis.
Yes.
So many times let's go, James, get to the point.
Yeah, just so many thoughts and everything. Jeez, I'm so terrible for these engineering interviews. I'm gonna be like, no. But anyways, so it's going to be a raffle style fundraiser, and a fundraiser in toy and supply drive. And how it's going to work is you bring in supplies like shoes, backpacks, food, and different items will have, different values, so to speak. And by donating, you get tickets, and we're going to have prizes from local communities, local organizations, as well as a grand prize from us. It should amount to somewhere around. I know where this joke's going.
Damn it!
It's going to, the prize from us, the grand prize is going to be hopefully a couple $100s in items or in an item. We haven't really decided on what we're going to do just yet. And how it's going to work is we're going to have, if you've ever been to our expo or big event raffles, we have the little boxes or the little paper bags that you put your tickets into. So the more items you bring in, you get, of course, more tickets. Then you can therefore increase your chance of winning a grand prize. So that's that's what it's going to do. Like I said, it's going to benefit kids, from local kids here in Rhode Island and in New England that come from abusive families and may not be able to have a Christmas that you or I are, I guess, used to having. So it's all part of the Christmas spirit of giving back.
Awesome. We should have details about that coming up very soon on our website and on Facebook, and we will.
So many details, so many things happening.
There's so much.
There's so much to do, and hopefully we'll be starting that this weekend.
And Thanksgiving's next week.
I know, right? It's crazy. So on top of that, we have Adult Night. This upcoming weekend.
Saturday.
We have Pistol Shotgun Night
on Friday.
We have our Spec Ops Night coming up December 8th. So, and again, if you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, this is going to be a very different style day of gaming. There's going to be an Op 4 on the field, and you will be working not against another group of players, but against a specific group of opposing force. It's what Op 4 stands for. And
that's what Op 4 stands for.
And that'll be represented by guys, staff members from Extreme and Rycon, our house team. It'll be groups of 6 players that'll be going onto the field to accomplish a variety of very complex, multifaceted, multi-level missions where respawns are very heavily Milsim based. They're going to be respawns for players are going to be medic bands. Everybody's going to have a specific medic in the squad. And whereas the Op 4 is going to have a, not instant, but close to a respawn at a point on the field. So even though there's maybe only 3 Op 4, they're still going to represent a much larger force. And therefore, to complete these missions, you're going to have to use a lot of strategy and pre-planning and
that's going to be
a little bit of skill and sneaking. And it's not going to just be run in and start shooting.
Yeah.
So, and these are the kind of more complex mission types that like I said, the more veteran players might enjoy, but on the same token, we're doing it here to make it more accessible to really everybody.
Yeah, it'll kind of help egress into, the Milsim life.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's something you're interested in.
And a lot of the stuff we did at Copper Dream last Saturday was a perfect example of stuff we might do during a regular recon role set during a game like Autumn Justice. Like the sneaking is more important than just the head-on engagement because you're going to get killed if you try and do just force and force.
Yeah,
that's gonna
it's
be
about
so
using your environment to your advantage, not disadvantage.
Yeah.
So if you really want to up your gaming, your airsoft skill and stuff like that, definitely.
Do you want to test yourself out?
And once again, more details about that will be posted very shortly.
Yeah, the more you play airsoft, the closer you become a Navy SEAL. So play more airsoft.
That's another myth we need to break. Does having Navy SEAL kid make you an actual SEAL? Are you that brutal?
Well, first you have to kill Green Berets. Ooh.
Ew, yikes.
Ooh. There's a whole thing in the news that there are a couple Navy SEALs strangled a Green Beret when they found out when he found out about their cash heist. They had been stealing money and using their training. To exploit and make money. And I guess a Green Beret found out about it and he ended up dead because of it. And so there's an ongoing investigation about that.
Okay.
Anyway. Yeah. So I know everyone holds these, like SEAL teams and DevGru guys and like super highlight, but
sucky people.
Assholes are still assholes, scumbags still scumbags.
Yeah.
And they can, if you're good at what you do, you can still be an Navy SEAL.
But don't forget,
but
Revenge of the Grinch.
Yes, and of course our big upcoming event, December 17th.
Yes.
Pre-register now.
Registration is officially open as of an hour and 31 minutes ago.
Yes, sir.
And has no spelling errors as of an hour and 15 minutes ago.
No extra options as of an hour and 15 minutes ago.
And to really finish off the stream, I found a picture of Damba online.
It was a fantastic day when I came in, and there was like 3 of those just taped to the walls of Extreme. Just exactly that. He printed out those 2 pictures and put them up next to each other.
It's Damba.
And also, before Harrison had one more comment. He said that they had started playing Pokemon cards at the office. How do we feel about Pokemon trading card game? And
dude, that was OG. I love
that was quite rad when I was a kid. But you know what's funny?
Quite rad when I was like. You definitely weren't quite rad as a kid.
I had my own cards, I will say, but a couple guys on staff have actually started playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait, they
No,
started
I'm not
again?
gonna lie, I played that game when I was younger.
I played Yu-Gi-Oh!
They're
a
trying
lot.
to get me to get
It was-
the
it was-
Yu-Gi-Oh!
it was
connected.
kinda
Wait, who is this?
It's Stephen Kevon and Aaron.
Of course.
And
They're trying to do Yu-Gi-Oh! again?
Yeah.
Yo, I got a binder of cards hiding in my house. Let's
They were
go!
telling me about it. They're like, play Yu-Gi-Oh! With us, James. Play
So-
Yu-Gi-Oh!
God.
I just remembered why we were going to extend this stream for a few minutes because we completely forgot to talk about something.
What would we forget now?
Dodgeball night.
Oh yeah, dodgeball night.
So yeah, this will be like, not Airsoft, but addition to it. So we're looking at hosting a like dodgeball league on the field.
If you play Warhammer, you get chicks. True story, lads.
Who is Harrison?
This is my man Harrison.
Tell him
So-
that he has to come visit us.
Yeah,
for
right.
Crazy
Come
next
through.
year.
Right.
Come through, baby.
So, but
Actually, I
like,
have a date for you, so you have to come now. Like a date.
So-
Here, I'll tell it to you right now. Continue
I was
this.
gonna say you have a date for him, like how.
You're
We
going
don't
have
take
to-
him out to dinner.
where are you
and
taking
everything.
him? Yeah.
Exactly. No,
Go on, do the dodgeball thing.
we're doing a dodgeball night soon. We still haven't decided on a date.
August 25th.
That's not dodgeball night, to be clear.
2018.
That's
Be
our
there.
Crazy 9.
Crazy 9.
Crazy
Uh,
9? I don't like the concept.
Okay.
We'll do 9 live.
9 lives sounds like we failed 9 times.
Yeah. 9
Maybe we
lives
should
sounds
pick a better
like
name than
you couldn't
9
kill
lives.
us. You couldn't kill us the first 9 years.
Yeah, that's the year we go to business.
No, but
So
so
we'll pick up something cooler.
we don't have a date yet, but we will be doing a dodgeball league night one day of the week very soon. And last night we actually had staff come in and we tested out a few different rule sets. And I'll admit, I was a doubter in this. I was like, okay, this might be a little bit fun, but I'm not sure how it will go. It was actually beyond fun. Like, I had such a good time. So we actually tried a few different rule sets in a few different ways to see what would work. So, we started with like the classic, like have a line in the middle of the field and the ball
Yeah.
start on the line, you can't cross the line. The issue is it turned into people just hiding behind cover, like waiting for just
That's
the
what
right
I.
minute to go.
That's what I.
And it got real slow, real fast. And so then we tried that in both directions, lengthwise and like shortwise and longwise on the field. Longwise was better from like near spawn to the back of the field.
Yeah.
That was better because there's less places to hide and more places to maneuver.
Is there a party tonight? Why did they turn on the field lights?
I don't know. That's interesting.
That's spooky. It's the
Um,
ghost of extreme. It's Pete.
so
Pete's turning on the lights.
we what do you call it? Then we eventually did it where we had balls at the respawn, enough for like 1 per player. A little bit more than that. It was like 4 on each side and 1 ball sitting in the middle. And you had to like hunt out the other people in the field and to eliminate them.
Oh, dang.
And there were similar rules. If you caught a ball when your team members was back in and the other player was out, if you were hit and you didn't catch, if you got hit and you weren't catching it, you didn't catch it, you were out. If it bounced off the ball you were holding, it didn't count. All that kind of stuff. But it was incredibly fun. We tried it with both all the lights on, middle lights, and no lights on. No lights was a ton of fun. But that's because we know the field.
Yeah.
But
Someone's like,
regular like
Nods down dodgeball.
regular. I made the joke. I was like, good thing Dan Butt's not here. You want to throw his nods on and play at night. No, but like regular like airsoft lighting was actually super ideal. It was incredibly fun, and the games are quick. They're like 2-minute games.
That's pretty.
Such a good time. Like you seriously missed out by not coming last night.
The
Sorry.
ribs were in the oven.
The what?
I made ribs last night.
That's it? That's the only I had to write 3 goddamn papers, but you missed it for
Well,
ribs?
I have to cook the ribs.
Actually, you know
for
what,
5
the
to
ribs-
7 hours in
the
the
rib-
oven,
Oh.
and then I cook them on the grill for an hour. And it's my dad's recipe, and I swear to God, my dad did open up a restaurant selling his ribs.
Oh,
and I'm not
ribs.
kidding. Like it's.
Ribs get
So I was close. I was like 70. I'd say like 85% close to my dad's ribs, which still is like restaurant level ribs.
I want ribs.
So
Either way.
So
Any
come over
questions?
to my house to eat ribs.
Now,
sometime.
before the
Open
stream,
invitation to everyone that's watching.
before the stream, you had a bunch of questions about dodgeball night, and I said we'll talk about it on the stream. Do you have any questions?
Well, I mean, you kind of answered them with like the line and like and how it would play out. But right before we end, I know we said this 4 times, but Harrison says, "Ready for $1 million idea, lads," and I'm ready for it.
We're ready.
Karaoke
Now we have
dodgeball.
to, What?
Is that what he said?
Karaoke dodgeball.
And how
Oh
does that work?
God.
How does that
I'm
work?
trying to think of how I could make $1 million.
Whose man's is this?
Dodgeball. So do you have to like sing while you play dodgeball, or like?
I know we said we write mission. Oh no, they weren't on. They weren't there for that. We said we were.
Dodgeball. How would this work? How would it
I'm
work?
curious. I'll wait a minute or two
It
for
was
the stream
cool.
delay.
On YouTube.
Okay, so if you guys have an idea, because I can't find anything, so we've done. What was our 6-year anniversary? We had we did gambling theme for that as well.
6 year
We
was.
did like Lucky 7, Crazy 8.
I think it was just 6 year. We just put a bunch of casino themes up, and we're just like
Wasn't that just like
6 years.
All right.
Was that the launch party or was that 5 years? 5 years was
4 years was the launch party.
And then we went from 4 to 6.
Five and 6. No, we did 5 and 6.
No, we didn't. We went from 4 to 6.
No way, really?
Yeah. Someone may have made a mistake and not realized how long we had been open, and we
That was before me.
And we advertised it as 4 years,
I've been absolved.
and when it was actually 5.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
So we went 4-year anniversary to 6-year anniversary the next year. We're just that cool. We gained 2 years in 1 year's life, 1 year's time.
Okay, so you must sing while you play wireless mic. So I'm guessing like a headset kind of
What?
style.
That's an interesting idea.
So are we like all hooked up to mics and it's just us like like throwing
And then we
balls?
get kicked out of the building as tenants because everyone's ears are bleeding.
You know what? I think we should do that. I'm down.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Oh, we have a
Harrison
special
has to be here
video.
for
We
it
have a
now.
special video coming out this week. It's funny.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about the
This week's video, it's a PSA. So it's a super serious public service announcement
Super serial.
about used guns.
I'm sure it's super.
That's it.
It's super
Stay
serial.
tuned. Stay tuned.
Fine, don't take it. I will take it. I said I liked it.
Well, maybe
Oh,
if
I paused. Oh, Jesse. If I said that in front of Jesse, she'd be like, "Ha! I knew it. You don't like it."
you gotta be a better fake.
It's interesting. It's one of those things that I would have to see it in practice.
Yes.
Ball.
I think with that, it's finally time.
Yeah, it's late.
Though I have to go eat some dinners.
I gotta go to class.
With that, thanks for joining, guys. Next week
Thanks,
we'll figure
Moses.
out a topic, and
Probably just episode 2 of Myths.
no, probably not.
Probably not.
Trademark. Sorry, boys.
Okay, why's it gotta be
Well,
like?
It's just like the internet max
Right.
over here.
Like I said, guys, thanks for joining in. As always, I enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. Hopefully, I'll see you this weekend.
You should open your own meme page.
Tune in this Thursday to our upcoming video, and we'll see you all next week for episode 43.
Yeah, be here this weekend for Adult Land Pistol Shotgun
I'll
Night
leave you off with a picture of
with
James.
some damn butt.
With a picture of that fine booty.
Yes.
Sick.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Style, though.